You blink your eyes open. The room is still dark, but your thumb already knows exactly where to go. Before your feet even hit the floor, you're scrolling through your local morning briefing. For April 30th, 2026, the bulletin hits you with a barrage of highly specific facts. Overnight frost warnings, a midnight gas price hike, the Raptors dropping Game 5, a Devil Wears Prada sequel premiere, and National Turkey Bacon Day. You consume this disjointed list while brushing your teeth or waiting for the train. To a waking brain, this just feels like catching up on the world. It's simply what's happening today. But there is nothing accidental about this specific combination of facts. This list is a meticulously engineered psychological cocktail. We absorb these morning briefs in a vulnerable, half-awake state. In that passive vacuum, we let our guard down, completely unaware that our attention is being actively directed. If we ignore the structural formula driving these updates, we surrender control of our day. The publishers are silently calibrating our baseline emotions before we've even poured a cup of coffee. The first active ingredient in this daily formula is designed for immediate capture. We can easily call it the threats. This chart shows exactly how the briefing hits your wallet right out of the gate. A sudden 3-cent jump in midnight gas prices brings the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area average to an exact $1.79 a liter. Right after that, you get macroeconomic bad news. The Canadian dollar is trading weekly overseas at just 73.15 cents US, shrinking your purchasing power on an international scale. Then next comes the local environmental warning. The forecast predicts a chilly daytime high of 11 degrees, dropping to a low of -1 overnight, bringing with it a persistent risk of frost. Placing these particular specific data points at the very top of the daily email triggers a highly effective biological response. You are hit with mild, hyper-localized anxiety about your money and your physical comfort. By intentionally spiking your baseline cortisol levels first thing in the morning, the publisher aggressively forces you to pay attention. The briefing positions itself as a crucial tool for your daily survival and logistical planning. But an algorithm can't hold your attention purely through stress. If an audience stays in a state of unyielding anxiety, they will eventually close the app. The formula therefore requires an immediate pivot. To relieve that manufactured tension, the briefing introduces its second layer, the tribal comforts. Here is where the shared local pain of a 125 to 120 Raptors loss from last night enters. It gives readers a common emotional touchstone. And it immediately sets up the next communal event, Game 6 tomorrow night at Scotiabank Arena, with Cleveland currently leading the series 3-2. Next, they inject some light, nostalgic pop culture. A reminder that tomorrow is the classic Gonna Be May meme, right next to a plug for tonight's theatrical premiere of The Devil Wears Prada 2. These carefully calculated cultural touchstones act as a deeply soothing psychological salve. They provide an instant sense of in-group belonging, arming you with ready-made social currency for your morning water cooler conversations. Once the reader is grounded and relieved, the briefing reveals a glaring anomaly at the very bottom, a ridiculous pileup of 10 different simultaneous national days. This serves as the very final structural architectural component of the daily email. It exists purely for distribution, algorithmic fodder. You see completely unrelated themes shoved into the exact same calendar square, starting with the broadly cultural International Jazz Day. Then it veers directly into corporate intellectual property, specifically calling out National Mr. Potato Head Day. Finally, it leans into highly visual, craft-based nostalgia, with entries like National Tie-Dye Day. Marketing departments and PR firms manufacture these national days to serve as SEO bait. They are designed to trend on social media rather than celebrate actual history. Including this intentionally frictionless, trivial content guarantees the briefing has something light enough to be forwarded in a group chat. It ensures the publication's reach expands every single day, completely independent of the actual hard news. Looking back at the entire April 30th briefing, the illusion of a simple, helpful local update is broken. This cycle of stress and relief creates a rapid feedback loop. By shifting between negative triggers and positive communal rewards, it functions like a casino slot machine. This variable schedule hooks your attention, soothes your stress, and guarantees your daily scrolling retention. Tomorrow morning, when you open your local newsfeed, actively look for this three-part architecture. Try to spot the threat, the comfort, and the fodder. Seeing how the briefing is built changes our relationship to it. When the architecture is visible, the routine no longer feels like a passive intake of reality, but a series of deliberate emotional prompts. Understanding the ingredients of this psychological cocktail lets us consciously step out of the reactive loop. It allows us to protect our mental health and reclaim our digital agency before breakfast.